Had to say something on this climate change, because now you got some girl from Sweden telling Congress not to listen to her but to take action on it. And I want to say something about this climate change, because it's a bunch of bunk. And here's why. First thing, if you get rid of all the meat that humans eat, i.e. cows, because somebody in Congress is saying that cow flatulence is contributing to climate change. What do cows eat? Cows eat vegetation. So if you take away the meat that the people eat and make them all eat vegetation, they're going to create more gas. There's more humans on this planet than there is cows. So you're going to offset any gas that the cows make with human gas. And I also have noticed that when I eat more vegetables, I create more gas. Secondly, during the Revolutionary War, we were told about how the soldiers were facing an extreme winter in Valley Forge. Well, maybe they weren't equipped to handle that weather, but it was cold at that time, real cold. And then in 1860s, when we had the Civil War, we were told about how Gettysburg was real hot. It was hot when Gettysburg was happening, and that was in 1860s. And every day you hear when record temperatures were kept. One day it was 106 in 1904 and 86 in 2019. So all of this is what they call it climate change. It's been happening. It's a natural occurrence. It's not man-made. The hurricane that just hit the Bahamas. I'll almost guarantee you in 1860 there wasn't the population or the construction on the Bahamas that there is now, and hurricanes sure hit the Bahamas since hurricanes have been happening across that area. So when you have a hurricane hit now, of course there's going to be more destruction and more loss of life because there's more of it to happen. Same way in flood zones. We're told about how climate change is causing extra rain in all these flood zones, and look at the devastation that's happening. Well, when you got more construction and more population in these areas, you're going to have more devastation and more things happening. So how do you consider it man-made climate change when all this stuff has been happening right along? And what happened when records weren't kept? Did that stop hurricanes from happening? Did that stop floods from happening? Was it climate change when the icebergs made the Grand Canyon and then melted? Was it climate change when the Great Lakes were created by icebergs? We were told that that's what happened, that icebergs dug those big deep holes, and when they melted they filled up with water. So was that climate change that caused them to melt? So give me a break. This climate change is nothing but a scare to make these people paranoid. And there's been more scientists who have debunked the models that these scientists say that is happening. So, you know what? Climate change is a bunk, and that's all I got to say on it.